But I wanted to introduce our lovely preview for our Head of the Charles coverage by Ready Row USA. We are very excited to have Lisa Chiango. Did I say your name right? Chiango?
You did.
Yeah, Lisa's one of our para rowers at Community Rowing. And in the control room is Christopher Campbell, um, another para rower from CRI, and down in the lovely city of Austin, Texas, is Napoleon Griffin. Hi, Napoleon. Nothing like a little
Hello.
chaos to start out the day. Hopefully by Friday, by the time we all get up to the Head of the Charles on Friday to start our live stream interviews, it'll be smooth. But
Yes.
I just wanted to give people a taste of what we're going to be covering. We like you all out there. We just can't get enough of the magical atmosphere that is the Head of the Charles. And we love mingling with the crowd, the thrill of the racing, checking out new rowing gadgets and gear,
Oh
and
yeah.
eating chowdah. Chowdah. That's an Austin accent. I remember I ate chowdah after my race, and then I was like practically passed out. But we connect with old friends, and we watch. The most important thing is we watch new rowers of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds discover that they too can participate in this amazing sport. And Lisa and I have rowed together. She uses a transmitter, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce yourself and a little bit of your background?
Yes, I'm deaf and I row here in Boston on the Charles River. I really enjoy rowing so much. Growing up here in Boston, I've always wanted to learn to row as a child, and it's a wonderful, wonderful sport. You get to meet people from all over the world here at the head of the
Hmm.
Charles Regatta. And one of the great experiences I've had when I rowed last year was having to meet people from different countries. And this
Hmm.
regatta is the largest in the world. And when you come, it's not just about rowing. It's just the experience
Mm-hmm.
of and exchanging different cultures, experiences, and having the opportunity to meet people from different places. Rather, and you get to see different boats, different oars, different um, uniforms, and you get to see where people come from,
Yeah.
and you get the taste of an international competition
Yeah.
here in the U.S. Many of our rowers here in the United States don't often have the opportunity of going to other countries. So
Mm-hmm.
just coming here to Boston, you get the taste of what an international competition is experience like.
And can I ask you, have you been to the Head of the Charles before? Have you raced, or have you not? Have you raced in the Head of the Charles yet?
Yes, I've raced 2 times,
Okay.
and also growing up, I have attended several Head of the Charles Regatta competitions. I've growing up, I've gone to several. When I was in high school and college, I've gone to some races before I started rowing competitively, and
Mm-hmm.
it gave me the inspiration to try the sport.
Awesome. Yeah. And I have to say, my one rowing medal was with Lisa at the Halloween regatta, the Halloween regatta
Yes,
when we
yes.
rowed together. That was
Oh,
my one rowing medal. Hi, Napoleon. How are you doing down there in Austin? When are you heading up here?
I am. I'm doing well. I will arrive on Thursday, so I will see you
Thursday.
then.
Yeah,
Yes,
for sure. Yeah. Tell us a
I'm
little
looking
bit about
forward to it.
how you got into rowing and specifically your Head of the Charles experience, and what it
Okay.
was like.
I started rowing. I got introduced to it in 2017 back in
Hmm.
Carolina, Puerto Rico. So I was living at the time, and I was a runner most of my athletic career from adolescence through high school, college, and a little beyond. And I was running masters and won pretty much all I could win in it in track and field, and decided to just kind of just run for fun. And I was out on a run one day, and I see some people out in the Laguna in Condado rowing. And I was always interested in the sport, but never had an opportunity to do it.
That was
So I
in
ran
Puerto
over to the
Rico.
boathouse. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
So I ran over to the boathouse and asked him, how long would it take me to learn how to do that? And he said, an hour. I said, okay. I believed him. So I started it. And as soon as I got in the boat, I fell out. And I said, I don't think this will be good for me. He said, no, just give it a try, stay with it. And within an hour, I was paddling.
No
Blades never
way.
left the water.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it was
believe it.
horrible.
I
But it
believe
was
it because I see a lot of medals on the wall behind you. So you must have
yeah,
mastered it somehow.
yeah, it started to work out. And then
Yeah.
unfortunately, early on into my rowing career in Puerto Rico, Hurricane Irma hit. And then 3 weeks later, Hurricane Maria. And they were both category fives and pretty much decimated the island. And I remember thinking, I wouldn't be able to race like I would want to, because that hunger for competition was the same now since I'm rowing. I want to do the same as I did in track. And so I figured it would probably be best for me to move back to the States. So I was thinking about either Florida or Texas. I wanted to be somewhere warm. I don't like alligators, so Florida was out. So I chose I
I know
chose
people who
Texas.
row in Florida. I rode right past an alligator in Florida one time. It was the scariest thing I've ever.
No, I no was not interested. So pick
Yeah.
Texas, and it was the best thing I could have done. Texas Rowing
Hmm.
Center really afforded me the opportunity to develop as a rower and connected with so many people globally. Um, to the point I even
Yeah.
met the Olympic bronze medalist in the women's single from Tokyo. She came, Magdalena Lovnik, and her sister came to train. So I got to meet them, have dinner with them, and Kara Kohler ended up coaching me, and she's an
Kara
Olympic
Kohler.
bronze medalist.
Oh
Yes,
my God. Kara
Kara Kohler,
Kohler.
who represented the
She's
U.S.
yeah.
in the single in Paris.
Eh,
Yes,
Oh
she did
yeah.
a 2.5 hour coaching session with me on my cancer remission anniversary. And then she said, I brought something I think you might really like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get back to the dock. She pulls out this box. It's her bronze medal from the Olympic Games from 2012 that she won in
Did
the
you
quad.
touch it?
She put it on me. She put it around my neck. We took pictures together.
I love it. I love it. So
Yeah. So
listen, why don't we? Yeah, I mean, you went to the Olympics just
I
I mean,
did.
not just,
I
but
went as a
as
spectator.
a spectator,
I
and I
did.
love the pictures that you sent back from
Oh,
there.
it
An
was
amazing
so great.
experience. But
It was.
you have booked a lot of our coverage for the head of the Charles, and I was wondering if you could just kind of skip through some of those people
Sure.
that you know.
Okay.
We still have some, I should say, we still have some openings for people. So go to
Yes.
readyrowusa.com and
Mhm.
just contact us if you'd like to tell your rowing story. But
That's right.
Kira and Myra
Go Trell.
Gotrell, okay?
Yeah. They're a mother and daughter combination. They're out of Hackensack, New Jersey. And
Okay,
they started HOW, which stands for Hope on Water.
right.
They are doing phenomenal work with incorporation of children and adults, but primarily those who are in school, middle school, high school, and the neurodivergent community.
Right.
Um, she has a strong heart for that. And the
Hmm.
two of them work so well together. She actually became a part of rowing through her daughter.
Awesome.
So yes, and
Okay.
the foundation and the work that they're doing is phenomenal. I won't tell all their
So,
story
yeah,
because I want them to
Myra
tell it.
is the mom, right? And
Yes,
Kira
she
is
is.
the, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you got your Texas squad here.
Yes,
You've
I
got
do.
Eric,
Eric
Eric,
Cornett.
yeah, Eric
Yeah,
Cornett.
that's my
Yes.
buddy. He's actually a Harvard alum.
Okay.
So he'll be. It's kind of homecoming for him.
Yeah.
He is a world traveler. He has an apartment in Germany. He goes and trains with a lot of people internationally.
You can see that.
And he's actually in Texas right now. I saw him yesterday when I was, and day before yesterday when I was out in the pair. He
Oh, you saw
comes
him on the
rowing by
water?
me in the double.
I
Yeah,
loved, he was
yeah.
at Austin Rowing Club.
In
I
Austin,
loved,
Texas.
I did a,
Oh yeah.
I did a guest row with him. They were so nice. I
Oh
loved
yeah,
them.
Lady Bird Lake. Oh yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
One
So
of the best places to row.
yeah, tell me about Beth Cole, the Cancer Survivors Network. I met her last year
Yeah,
at the head of the Charles.
yes. I met Beth at Masters Nationals in 23 in
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis. And
Right.
she found out about me through a podcast that I did with Steady State Network, who I'll be rowing
Right.
with at the Charles. And
Awesome.
we connected and started speaking. And um, I've connected with her to do some regattas. I'll be racing with her in
Mm-hmm.
the San Diego Crew Classic in 25.
Okay.
And also, most recently, she was on the Kelly Clarkson show
That's
promoting.
what you told me yesterday. That
Yes,
is, oh
yes.
gosh.
It
And
actually airs today.
when I met her last year, she was just like such an authentic character.
Yes, she is.
She
Yes, she
was,
is.
and she gives you the time of day. She listens. She's an awesome person.
Yes,
But
she
let's
is.
skip through a little bit. We won't give everything away about Beth, but
Yeah.
she's awesome.
Oh,
And you got more Texas squad, Ken Gates and John Collicott. Just
oh
briefly
God.
tell us who they
Yes.
are.
Ken Gates. I don't think anyone's won the hammer in probably the last 9 years. Is every time he shows up, he wins it. So and
And
it crashed bees. He is
to,
just the
you know what the
standard.
hammer is, Lisa?
Yeah.
Yes, the erging
Yes,
gate.
he is
Yeah,
just world records, all kinds of things. Also, John rode on the national team. He has a
yeah.
very interesting story. Um, Fun fact about him: his dad was a journalist who covered Watergate when it first came public.
Oh yes, interesting.
So
I could.
he has
I mean, I
some
don't know
really
if he
cool
was a
stuff.
Collicott, but I do. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And he also rode on the national team as well.
sweet.
He,
Yeah.
yeah, Don
Well,
was,
we will be meeting
yeah,
him on Saturday around
yeah.
noon,
And he
and
and
Ken get.
Ken will be rowing in the same boat together in a
Yeah,
quad.
and
So
they'll be
look
rowing.
out.
They'll be
Yeah.
together on the interview as well. So,
Yes, they
and
will.
then
Yep.
later on Saturday we have Kate. Is it Knifton
Yeah.
or Nifton?
Kate Nifton.
Nifton.
Yes, Nifton.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Kate is
she's
the most
national
recent
team,
Nifton.
right?
Yes, she was in the Olympics. She stroked the women's four in Paris. They finished fifth in the A
Okay.
final. Yeah, I remember Kate when she was a high school student. I met her when I first moved to Texas,
Yeah.
and that's how I became introduced to her father, who owns Texas Rowing Center. Kate is phenomenal, two-time NCAA champion. She's
Awesome.
just everything when it comes to rowing, but just
I can't
so
wait to meet her.
humble.
I have to give kudos to her rep Stacy, who was so
Yes,
thorough in
very.
preparing and verifying stuff and
That's right.
confirming. And Stacy
Right.
is the bomb.
That's
The
right.
other three we have scheduled so far, and like I said, we have more. So just visit our website at readyrowusa.com to, if you're interested in telling your rowing story. But we have Etta Carpenter, Pat Hamner, and Will
Mhm.
Green.
Yes.
So just briefly, I know you want to talk about them for forever, but you will get a chance.
I will.
Um, yeah. So Etta Carpenter, she's
She is she was a collegiate rower at UT,
mm-hmm,
and now she is over at Princeton Training Center.
right.
And she competed this past year in 24 when Texas won the title again in the NCAA's. And I won't tell Ed a story yet, but she is a mover and a shaker and an activist all the way
Someone to
around. So
watch.
yeah,
Someone to
I'll
watch.
wait on
Yeah.
that one.
I
Yeah.
am so excited about this lineup that we have, and
Yeah.
I know these things sort of organically evolve when you're there. So there will be people
Right.
coming by. I met the guy who was he's head of the Asian Rowing Foundation
Oh wow.
Federation. Yeah, so we'll be at the CRI tent, and uh, they've graciously given us a spot there. And if anybody's interested in attending the reception on Friday night, that we've been invited to the reception.
All
But
right.
do yeah do I can't emphasize enough. We love to have not just these, elite rowers. We want to talk to people like Lisa and, people that may not see themselves. I
That's
mean,
right.
Lisa, you have been so persistent
Mhm.
in, you know, in advocating for yourself at community
Right.
rowing. Is that difficult, or does it get you down sometimes, or
Yeah, every day is different, and sometimes everyone faces challenges
yes.
with getting underwater and communicating, and
Mm-hmm.
some days they're easy and some days are challenging for all of us every day in life. And my goal is to keep growing and improving and getting underwater and getting opportunities to compete.
Yes.
And having been here today with you all and being involved with this team at HOCR, it's a real goal of mine.
Yeah.
And being involved in media is another goal because I have some training in this field
Yes.
and trying to break barriers and create opportunities.
Yeah.
Advocacy is something that we all need to do is to promote inclusion in this sport. And not many people with disabilities have the opportunity to row. On Saturday afternoon at HOCR, toward the end of the afternoon, there will be some para and inclusion races. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that some of you will take the opportunity to watch the para and inclusion athletes competing
Mm-hmm.
and give them the opportunity to shine,
Yes.
because not many regattas give them the chance. And that's why I'm happy that HOCR does that every year.
Yeah. I mean, that, like I said in the beginning, that's one of our major goals this year. And you know what blows me away is that I can talk here and you're reading my lips. It's unbelievable. It's amazing that you can do that. And it just makes it so easy for us to include people, that have these different abilities. But do you know any other deaf rowers? No.
No, unfortunately, I don't.
Can you bring them in? Can you bring them in?
I would love to have a deaf group be involved here in Massachusetts and seeing other deaf
Yeah.
rowers across the United States and internationally.
Yeah.
We would like to see more deaf people involved in the sport in a safe way that we all can learn this
Mhm.
complicated sport. Deaf people did row competitively in the Olympics in the early years in the 1920s or whatever. There were some champion rowers.
Wow.
But that's not happening today, and I don't understand why. Maybe we can all work together to make
Yeah.
that happen.
Let's do that. And maybe you can write us a blog post about that and share it to some of your friends. Now, you work at the Perkins School for the Blind,
Yes,
right?
I'm an assistive technology trainer, and I work with the deafblind community to teach
Mhm.
them how to communicate using assistive technology on um, cell phone, iPad,
Mhm.
and computers, so they can communicate with people every day, with their families and friends,
And what do you?
through the I Can Connect program. And it's the federal program that's available through the 50 U.S. states and territories. It's called icanconnect.org.
I can connect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I met a guy who developed a guidance system for blind rowers. So a coach goes along and controls the boat. Sort. Yeah.
Really? That's
Yeah, but
wonderful.
his name is Bob Barry, and it's called Remote Coxswain. So, that's if you know blind people that want to come, I can arrange for them to meet him. and try it out.
Really, I would love to try that because I'm
Yeah.
also not only I'm deaf, I'm also legally.
You are?
Yeah.
I would never have known that. But how do you see lips?
Well, I have a vision problem that is called retinopathy of prematurity.
Uh-huh.
So I'm partially sighted.
I
I'm not
see.
fully blind,
Yeah.
but that was caused from premature birth.
You have an amazing, you're so inspiring. I love it that you're involved with the program, and let's do more with it, with those topics. But let me just see, Napoleon, do you want to say anything about Pat Hamner or Will Green?
Yes, I do. Pat Hamner actually started Bachman Rock Rowing Club, which is set up to help underserved communities to be able to learn to row. They have academic support, and he's working and lobbying so that they could have the opportunity to obtain a scholarship and go be able to go to college. He was a
Right.
member of Dallas Rowing Club and a multiple time Masters national champion, but he has really turned his attention to founding this particular boathouse and teaming with the schools that are underserved in the Dallas community in Texas. Um,
Wow.
yeah. And then Will Green, oh, he's a teacher in upstate New York. And he's also with Chinook Performance Racing. And just a
Which
wonderful
you
human being.
also row with, right? You
I
row with
do.
Chinook.
I race with
Yeah.
Chinook as well. He was actually the
Mhm.
person who was my recruiter. So I
Mhm.
spoke to him initially. And he used to be an attorney. And then he changed to teaching later on. And he loves it. But he has such a good heart, great rower, and just a
Oh,
wonderful person.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to
But
meet him.
I wanted to say um, how I got started with Charles. My first row at the Charles was in an adaptive double. I
Okay.
rode with a gentleman who was adaptive rower in the double,
Yeah.
and then I did it again the following year. And I'll actually be racing the week after Charles in an adaptive double with a gentleman that I coach. I coach adaptive athletes here in Texas, and I'll be racing with him in the double for the Pumpkinhead. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah,
Do you
that's
get a
my
pumpkin?
dude. Actually, this is the medal.
Oh my gosh. That's
So
like
it
our
looks
our
just like
medal
a
for
pumpkin.
the Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know if you
he
can see
must.
it. It looks like a
Yeah, I see the orange. I see the orange.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just take it
All right.
off. I'll pull the
Yeah.
other medal down,
Well,
but that's fine.
yeah.
I'll take it.
Don't
Here you
rip
go.
your
This
room apart. I love it. Oh, that's very
so it's the head of the
fun. Very
Colorado,
fun.
technically.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like the head of the fish. You actually get a fish head, you know. Yeah. It's varnished or something, but it's crazy.
Does it
Apparently,
smell?
well, after a few years, I think it does. The varnish breaks down.
Ugh.
I know. Anyway, so we've got these sessions scheduled, and like I said, contact us via the website readyrowusa.com. And before we go, I would like to put our guest, or I mean our tech wizard, Christopher
Yeah.
Campbell, on, who's also going to be doing some hosting for us along with Lisa and Napoleon. Um, Christopher, can you hear us? Don't think he can. Christopher, I think you can. Oh, is he frozen?
Yeah.
Christopher, I think you might have to unmute yourself. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's Christopher Campbell. He's a former audio technician for big stage shows and is showing his skill today here with us after our kind of faulty start. But we'll get it all smoothed out by the time we go to.
That's right.
So thank you, Christopher, for being here. Let me just wrap up. We also have on our crew Diane Bevan, who's a board member at Community Rowing, and she's currently climbing wicked high mountains in Bhutan, the country of Bhutan. She is an astounding athlete, amazing, and I'm pretty sure she'll be competing in the head of the Charles next year. I hope she does. But anyway, we'll be. Let me put some of the little contact info at readyrowusa.com.
Yes.
And we have a special blog post /HOCR24, and you can we'll be constantly updating that with our new scheduled interviews and anything that's ad hoc. And Napoleon will be roaming the streets of, or the sidewalk of,
Oh yeah.
the head of the Charles, doing ambushing people.
Oh yes. So be
Yes.
ready.
Who better than you to do this? I mean, like, you meet people that I just like. I like meeting people, but you really meet people.
Oh yeah. I'll just walk up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
yeah, you just walk up and say,
not?
oh, and yeah, you know what to say to them. It's just like, oh, it's so cool. All right, so we'll see you on Friday around noon at our studio will be at the community rowing tent near Elliott Bridge. And we appreciate everyone tuning in today, and thank you. We'll see you at the head of the Charles.
All right.
Bye.